We all have that one playlist, right? The one for road trips, for late nights, maybe for falling in love. But what if the soundtrack to our lives has been telling us a completely different story than the one we thought we were hearing? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the music of relationships, and oh boy, it gets complicated.
I mean, come on, we all know this one. It's pretty much the gold standard of a modern love song. It's sweet, it's direct, it's basically the musical equivalent of a perfect box of chocolates. It's that feeling of being seen and loved for exactly who you are.
And here's where it gets interesting. Because for every straightforward song like that, there are dozens of beloved classics just masquerading as romance. But if you listen closely, they're whispering about something much darker, way more complicated, and honestly, a lot more human.
So let's start by shattering a few of those myths. We're about to take a closer look at some of the biggest songs from weddings, from proms, you name it, and reveal the kind of unsettling truths hiding right there in plain sight.
And get this, the difference between what we think these songs are about and what they're actually about is just staggering. On one hand, you have these absolute titans of the love song genre. On the other, a really jarring reality. That Whitney Houston ballad that's been the first dance at countless weddings, yeah, that's sung from the perspective of the other woman. And that classic by The Police, that's not romantic devotion, it's basically the anthem of a stalker.
And it's not even subtle, it's right there in the lyrics. Stolen moments, you've got your family. She is literally waiting for a man to leave his wife. The song is an absolute masterpiece of emotion for sure, but that emotion is all about the turmoil of a forbidden affair.
And this is not a one-off thing, this happens all the time. So why do we get it so wrong? Well, maybe it's because the melody is so beautiful, or the chorus just soars, that we project our own ideas of romance onto it. We kind of choose to ignore the destructive story it's actually telling.
Which leads us perfectly into our next section. Because beyond just misinterpreting love, there's a whole world of music that doesn't even try to hide its true intentions. This is the music of pure, unfiltered human desire. And, of course, the thrill of breaking all the rules.
This timeline really puts the whole cultural shift into perspective. Back in '69, the Stones were using all this bluesy innuendo. Then, by 1976, Donna Summer puts a 16-minute simulated orgasm on a disco track, which was just revolutionary. Fast forward to 2020, and WAP shows we've moved so far past suggestion into this world of hyper-explicit, totally unapologetic sexuality. The conversation has just completely changed.
And it's not always just about the physical stuff. A lot of the time, the real energy comes from the taboo itself, the secret, the risk, that relationship that society tells you is wrong. That's a super powerful theme that artists come back to over and over again. And this line from Perfume Genius is just dripping with this defiant energy. No family is safe when I sashay. Wow, it's so unsettling, it's confrontational, it's not asking for you to accept it, it's announcing that queer love is here, and it's a powerful, disruptive force. It's the sound of the forbidden being worn like a crown.
Which brings us to probably the most common taboo in all of popular music: infidelity. I mean, cheating has inspired countless songs, right? It's created this rich, complicated soundtrack that explores the drama from every single possible angle. And that's what makes these songs so compelling, isn't it? They're not just these one-sided morality lessons. They let us get inside the head of everyone involved in that love triangle, to feel their anger, their guilt, their justifications, the whole messy thing.
Okay, first up, the perspective of the betrayed. And nobody does righteous rage quite like Carrie Underwood. This is not a song about quiet heartbreak. This is a step-by-step guide for getting even. We are way past sadness and have gone straight to cathartic, property-damaging revenge.
All right, now let's flip it. Let's look at the other person's point of view. The Roots give us the perspective of a guy who knows he's crossing a line. You can hear a little bit of guilt, he acknowledges the main relationship, but at the end of the day, his own desire just wins out. He knows it's wrong, but he's gonna do it anyway.
And finally, the cheater herself. Amy Winehouse isn't making any excuses here. This is a straight-up confession. It's this moment of brutal self-awareness where she's admitting she's at fault almost before it happens. She's putting all her flaws on the table, basically saying, hey, you can't be surprised, I warned you.
And there's this really fascinating psychological thing that happens here. Have you ever noticed how often, both in songs and in real life, the betrayed partner points all their anger at the third party, the so-called other woman?
instead of their own unfaithful partner? It's actually a defense mechanism, a way to protect the relationship they might still want to save.
So, where does all this leave us today? Well, in our final section, we're going to look at how music is evolving to not just reflect, but to actually shape more modern, more complex ideas about what a relationship can even be.
Okay, so first, a quick definition just so we're all on the same page. Polyamory is all about consensual non-monogamy. And the key word there, the most important word, is consent. It's not cheating, it's an intentional relationship structure that everyone agrees to.
You can actually hear this idea popping up in some pretty surprising places. This line from the White Stripes is a perfect little example. There's no drama, no betrayal. Just, Bobby says it's fine. It treats this open situation with a casualness that is still pretty rare in music, and it shifts the whole focus away from conflict and onto consent.
But of course, there's a flip side. The whole concept of an open relationship can get co-opted. Sometimes it's not a genuine philosophy, but more of a last-ditch effort to avoid the responsibilities of a committed partnership. It's kind of like another kind of lie, just wrapped in modern language.
And this little bit of dialogue from the Dexys song just captures that perfectly. You can hear the desperation in his voice when he suggests it. It's not a real proposal for a new, honest way forward. It's a plea to just keep things going without commitment. And her response says it all. No, I'm not going to put myself through that again. For her, it's all or nothing.
So, from secret affairs disguised as wedding songs to the complicated politics of modern love, the music we listen to is so much richer and more complex than we give it credit for. It's a mirror to our own messy, beautiful, and sometimes totally contradictory desires. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? The next time you press play on that favorite playlist, what secrets will be hiding in your favorite songs?